The Gnomestead Tapestries by Darrell Wade Penner.
A nice ring to it.
Gnorman's Gnomestead. Speak, friend, and enter. Hello, I'm Gnorman. Please come in. Welcome. Now just to set things straight, even though I'm not as tall as the trees and my home is warm and dry and has a sod roof, I'm not a hobbit or halfling or one of the wee folk, despite the green hat. I came to the South Cringle Archduchies a few years ago and now call it home. It is an interesting kingdom filled with such interesting people. You might have heard of the Bayou Tapestry. This is not the Bayou Tapestry.
Summer approaches, and so doth the princess' birthday. So, princess, the birthday doth approach, and we know not what thy wish for a gift. Let me whisper my wishes to thee, sister. Sister confides to the king and queen the princess desires. So, these are my daughter's birthday wishes? It is such terribly short notice, I don't know. Not realizing they are overheard. And so Sir Biff meets with other good knights in the stables to discuss the princess' birthday present. The princess wants a carriage made of what? She wants a carriage made of ice. And so they planned. And they planned. And they planned. But they could not come up with any plan to get ice in June. Brother Jacques, whatever became of Brother Cedric? He just sort of disappeared after the incident with the bishop. I received a message from him last week. He is in St. Frostburg. That's very far up north, isn't it? Yea, indeed, so far north, he doth say. Most of the rivers are still frozen till this day. Good day, Sir Knights. Good day, Sir Knights. Remind me to never cross the bishop. I think I have a plan. Sir Peanut has come up with a plan at last. First, for our quest, we get a large and sturdy wagon and teamsters. Then we leave the castle and head north. As it was Sir Peanut's plan, he took on this part of the quest. It was a long way north. A very long way. North is a very, very long way away. The northern forest is dark. Not so the open areas in June. Brother Cedric was rather pleased with the woollens Sir Peanut thoughtfully brought. He arranged a large block of ice to be dragged from the river and loaded on the wagon. And so began the long trek south and home. The trek south seemed even slower than the one north. The trip did seem to speed up as they got further south. It took a while to realize the true reason for the easier travel. This was not a part of the plan. Sadly, Sir Peanut had to admit defeat. I have failed at mine quest. Again, the good knights pondered. Then it's agreed, and finally decided to consult with Brother Jacques directly. Sir Biff and the others sought out Brother Jacques on the castle parapets. Brother Jack, if some knights needed a huge block of ice, where could they get one? Sir Biff, I gathered these good knights could not wait until the winter snows had once more returned to these parts. Sometimes Brother Jacques could be a bit long-winded. After a bit of a pause, Sir Peanut steps up to translate for Sir Biff. He means, do we want it now? Yes, fair Jacques. We need it as soon as possible, and form a quick reply. Well, I hear the rivers up north at St. Frostburg are still clogged with ice. And it melted long before it got here. Wouldn't blocks of ice from that far north melt long before it reached here? Brother Jacques admitted that it could be a large problem. Well, when a king doth desire sherbet in summer, we doth send servants with a large wagon. Where to, Frere Jacques? This is important to us. Patience was not one of Sir Biff's virtues. Truly could Brother Jacques be long-winded and try even Sir Peanut's patience. There are mountains to the west where within you will find glaciers of the alpine variety as opposed to the Arctic variety, and it is therein from those self-same glaciers aren't alpine roads dangerous? That we shall find ice even unto the months of June, July, August, and September? But the answer would ring out in the end. Somehow more knights heard of the quest, and all wished to join, and all that was left was enough for the king's sherbet. But in the end it was decided only 3 knights would go. As they left, Sir Hills had some sage advice. Before thee get to yon mountains, switch thee to oxen. Afore yon path be very steep, and doth with wagons setch. Sir Hills was more than a bit rustic and archaic. Reaching the mountains, they switched to a team of 12 sturdy oxen. This is feeling more like a cattle drive than a quest. The going was easy at first, and they joked at the precautions. But at Sir Peanut's urging, they brought their team of horses along as well. Or a circus. As promised, the going got a lot tougher. The road indeed was rough, but they pushed on with their quest. Eventually they made it to the glacier, somewhat in one piece. They found a piece of ice about the right size, and using their axes, shaped another piece into a ramp, and dragged their cargo onto the wagon with the oxen. The oxen might be slower, but Sir Peanut hoped the shorter trek would get them to the castle before the ice melted. The road home was as rough as it was going to the glacier. They were glad to have the team of horses helping hold back the wagon. Crack! Perhaps the trail even felt rougher with the weight of the ice. The rough trail had taken a toll on the large chunk of ice already. Maybe we can fix it with some glue? Or perhaps Brother Jacques might be able to mend it with water. Sir Biff made a command decision. Sir Peanut, a fast rider and sound of mind, he sent ahead. Sir Peanut, ride ahead and get another wagon. We'll want more ice and snow to patch this. They would follow at a slower, safer pace. Swiftly, Sir Peanut rode to the castle. Many knights speculated on Sir Peanut's return, but Brother Jacques asked. And so he joined Sir Peanut as they headed back to the mountains. When Sir Peanut returned and caught up with the others, there had been some developments. Brother Jacques saw the ice had broken into chunks on the rough road. I think this beyond my skills, Sir Knights. The knights needed a new plan, for they would not give up. The knights gathered on the rampart and discussed what next they should try. Smoother road? Take too long. Larger chunk of ice? No wagon large enough. Insulate it with straw? Still need too large a wagon. Try as they might, they could not find an answer. Brother Jacques had an important question. Just what do you want this huge chunk of ice for anyway? Maybe you could do whatever it is there. But whether or not to tell the good brother was an issue. The knights silently pondered. I wonder what we're having for dinner. It's a surprise, Sir Squarehead simply said. That is the only other solution I can come up with, good Sir Knights. Go to the ice. Thank you, Brother Jacques. I'll have to see if that will work. The knight's next move was to see if the princess party could be moved. The knights brought forward the idea of having the party in the mountains to the king. No. Who didn't much care for the idea. The knights talked late into the night, trying to find a solution, and into the small hours of the morning, with very little coming of it. The knights just could not figure out a better way to get the large chunk of ice to the castle. I told you sister wouldn't know. I am sure they are floating islands, Norsky son. No, your highness. I seen them up close. Them icebergs really are made of ice. Good morning, Sir Knights. 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 We're asking Frere Jacques. No more arguing. Yes, princess. Yes, princess. Yes, princess. Huh? Sir Norsky got an idea. Good morning, highnesses, brother, children. Good morning, highnesses, brother, children. Good morning, highnesses, brother, children. He wasn't used to getting them. Sir Norsky outlines his plans. The icebergs come this far south, even this late in June. When he was excited, Sir Norsky's accent sometimes still showed. I'll take my ship, Squire Norsky son, and stoutest crew, and sail out to where the icebergs sail, and there... Another Viking ship swiftly overtakes Sir Norsky. It's Lady Norsky. Norsky! I know you're plotting something. You aren't sailing without me. It is Lady Norsky, Sir Norsky's wife, and her shield maidens. Icebergs are dangerous, but the Norse are skillful, and their boats crafty. They don't seem so big from far away, and soon the two ships are deftly maneuvered near one. Why don't we try for a slightly smaller one, shall we? This one would drag us clear to the tropics. I don't have any problem with that. And so they sought out a smaller one, a much smaller one. A smaller berg was found and secured with rope. Now we're really hauling ice. I still like the idea of the tropics for the voyage home. While the ice was being gotten, Sir Norsky and Lord Cavalier traveled north on advice to get some specialists at carving ice. As quick as possible, they returned home with two experts from the lands of ice and snow. Soon, the small iceberg was brought back safely. Oh no, not again, it melted. That's not big enough for a cart. Yes, it seems we are foiled again. All but Sir Norsky are dismayed. As teams of oxen tugged mightily on stout rope, Sir Norsky said cryptically, "Wait for it." But they didn't have long to wait. And it wasn't very long before the true size of the iceberg was made known. I think we're going to need a few more oxen, and perhaps the Queen's pachyderm. And it ground to a halt on the ramp leading from the sea. Within the dark walls of the castle, there was a chamber, sometimes used for storage. They had never gotten round to using it as a dungeon. Brother Jacques had the walls lined with a thick layer of straw to keep in the damp cold and preserve all of the ice of the previous attempts. I was planning to store food here. This left the chamber very cold. It was a tight squeeze through the massive doors at one end of the chamber, but they made it through, barely, or Barry, Barry being the name of the Queen's pet pachyderm. All that was needed was the carvers. The postern door opened. The torches guttered and nearly went out. At long last, the experts from the far, far north had arrived. These were the long-awaited experts with ice and snow. The experts are left to plan, and then create the carriage of ice. Soon, it was time to present the princess with her birthday gift. Your Majesty, on behalf of the knights and the population of the kingdom, we present this gift to the princess. The king was speechless at the sight of the icy coach. "Oh, wonderful! However did you guess that I wanted a chilled sherbet for my birthday?" Of course, in order to make sherbet, you needed ice to chill the juice or fruit. "But I was hoping for a carriage of my own for my birthday." The king simply raised his hand, nodding towards the stables. "We gotta run out of the white horses at some point. Looks like a little bit of a lemon. That's yellow gold. The princess loves yellow." "Oh, Mom and Dad, I just love it. This is a beautiful carriage. I love this even more than the nice ring you gave me this morning." An ice ring? Oh, she wanted a nice carriage. A Nice Ring to It by Darrell Wade Penner. Story, narration, and all graphics by Darrell Wade Penner.